Kids getting off the bus right now? It's 12 o'clock? Must be a half day. Anyways, the Real V Sauce. Coming to you live. I'm not live. I just like saying that. So, I just had a thought pop into my head. I wanted to share it with everybody. Integrity. What is integrity? I-N-T, like a pick six. I'm not great at spelling. I-N-T-E-G-R-I-T-Y, integrity. Yeah, I think that sounds right. Integrity, question mark. What is it? Well, from an institutional perspective, we could, well, at least the experienced group of the people out there watching and listening, we could all agree that integrity is, it's a funny thing to wrap your head around. So earlier on in my series, I had some questions that I wanted everybody to ponder, and I want you to keep thinking about it as you trudge through this game called life. And you know, those questions: what is what? What is? Things like that. Philosophical questions. Because as we further develop this subjectivity versus objectivity thing, you know, you'll learn that things aren't always what they literally are in the dictionary per the, you know, the definition, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Because no matter where you're from, everybody's from somewheres, and they're just you know, ingrained with these cultural beliefs, which ultimately impact our morals and our ethics, which likewise impact, you know, our perception of what things are, we'll say. Oh, sweet, bro, you're out doing the road. You need to do a better job. Our roads are a freaking mess around here. Dare I say it? They're not doing their job. I would love it if the DEC would come over here and find these people for their SWPP violations. But here in the town of North Greenbush, we don't really enforce that at the local level, so they're not really going to get the real authorities involved. Ah, yeah, Cerebella. I remember doing a video there, Cooked Hard or Lou Desso. Ironic, isn't it? Hey, Lou. Keep forgetting to pay your bills, buddy. You're setting a great example for everybody out there. So, integrity. Back to integrity. What is it? Well, I can tell you that by most people's definitions of integrity, an example of those SWPPs, or Lou Desso, our town supervisor, not paying his bills, that would lack integrity. Well, like I started hinting into, integrity from an institutional perspective is what we say it is. So, in other words, now that Lou's the boss of the town of North Greenbush, so this is just an example, it's up to him to impose his will and his beliefs on what integrity is and is not. For example, the first thing that this gentleman did, it was literally within like the first few weeks of his term as the town supervisor, was he called the town next door to have his property reassessed. And of course, I don't know, it was a couple $1,000s, whatever it wound up being, he wound up getting like a tax break from. So yeah, way to set the example for everybody. Most people would say, you know, that's an abuse of your power, could be possibly a conflict of interest, although I'm not really seeing the argument there. I'm sure there could be one to be made there, but certainly it doesn't set a good example for young aspiring politicians that want to grow up and do it the right way for the people, right? You're for the people, you're for the people. What you call it? You know, do the right thing. Like pay your bills. Shit, man, it's not your money anyways. You're paying through your campaign. Pay your bills for your campaign. It's not your money. And this is why I need people to donate me money, so I can pay other people's bills, like our town supervisor, Lou Desso, who doesn't like to pay his bills. Wow. So yeah, that's a lack of integrity right there. When I was working at the tax department, again, same thing. Integrity is what we say it is. Corruption is what we say it is. You know, it's a matter of, if you have enough people grouped together believing that there's no poison in the Kool-Aid, but people are dropping dead left and right, it doesn't matter. There's no poison in the Kool-Aid because we said there isn't. Yeah, there's forensics why these people got killed. And yeah, there was tests that came back that said the Kool-Aid was tainted. But we're going to keep drinking it because there is no problem. It's like in the Matrix. There is no spoon. So, you know, I think in order for any sort of unity or harmony to be achieved anywheres, we need to come to a consensus on what is integrity and what is not integrity. And there's a lot of examples out there that are just... Let's take another example. The college loser. Certainly a worthwhile endeavor. It's coming. I'm still getting the funds. I gotta set it up. It's not cheap setting up a business, people. But in the meantime, I'm gonna start collecting money. I don't care. I don't need to be a business. Who's gonna stop me from doing it? I mean, we got politicians abusing their power and corruption left and right. What's a few $1,000s? I mean, the first few $1,000s I collect is gonna go to setting it up right. So there you go. No harm, no foul. Why should I have to account for that? That's earnest money. Earnest money to start up the business. You need some startup capital. But yeah, I bumped into a few people the other day, and they all said, wow, that's quite the perspective. 5 times as much college loan debt than there is credit card debt in the United States. Interesting. Interesting perspective. College is not a winning scenario. So is there any integrity in going to school? In my case, you know, you're looking at about 20 years of life wasted into pursuing something that just, it's never gonna happen. 3-time college loser, biochemist / accountant. Wow, you know a lot of stuff, man. Wow, you're really smart. Who cares? Is there any integrity in that? So here's a question that we should ponder. Should I pay those student loans? I don't think so. I think being $120,000 in debt with a combined almost 20 years of your life wasted pursuing something between studying and pursuing a career, you know, in those avenues, I think somebody owes me money. So that's what the college loser is all about. We're going to start a super fund to sue the government, the state and federal education departments. Like I said, I was having a conversation the other night, and it appears that people in primary education, more specifically high school, aren't getting the right advice from people when they're choosing to venture out in the world. And then, you know, you get a whole generation, a whole, you know, subsector of that generation, and the problem still continues to this day. With all this debt that's never, ever going to be capable of being paid back, quite frankly. Is there any integrity in still pushing that agenda on people and fucking them over the rest of their lives? I don't think so. So yeah, lawsuit against primary and secondary education, and we'll see what happens. We're going to pay for lobbyists to go to Capitol Hill and change things, and we're going to have some sort, I haven't figured it out yet, because I mean everybody's going to want people to have their tuitions just paid off through this fund. some kind of an application process. I don't know. Either way, we're going to create a lot of jobs in pursuit of something that's worth pursuing. That's integrity. So, we're here to the destination. I got to get going. Peace out.